Hello YouTube, my name is Kangav, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most important decisions you have to make when trying to progress or even complete the game of Stardew Valley. And that is Community Center versus Joja Mart. While this video is directed more towards new players or people who just haven't played far enough to complete either of these, there will be a few spoilers for mostly early game stuff. However, if you're a seasoned Stardew player and think I miss anything in this video, feel free to drop some extra tips for the newer players in the comments. And let me know if I've changed your mind at all about this debate. First, let's explain what exactly the Community Center and Joja Mart are, how they work, and why they're so important. The Community Center is this sad-looking building found above the town center and to the right of the fountain. Joja Mart is the store found to the right of the town center above Flint's shop. Both locations have items to be completed, which are the only ways to unlock major parts of the game, such as the desert, Ginger Island, and the movie theater. But let's look at the Community Center first. On day 5 of your first spring, or any day after, entering the town by passing the bus stop at any hour past 8 a.m. will trigger a cutscene where Mayor Lewis explains the town doesn't have enough money to fix the community center and will then ask you if you want to help with the rat infestation the building has. In that cutscene, you'll see they are definitely not rats. The next day, a quick visit to the Wizard's Tower will teach you that they are forest creatures called Junimos, but the bundles within the community center are owned by the Junimos, and they request you gather a variety of items to complete each one. Things like crops, forageables, fish, and one that requires cold hard cash. Completing each section within a bundle gives you a small physical prize, and completing the entire bundle offers a much bigger reward, such as the new locations I mentioned earlier. Joja Mart, on the other hand, offers community development projects owned by the store's manager, Morris. After completing the community center and wizard cutscenes, you can choose to visit Morris at the Joja Mart instead of helping the Junimos. Morris is a human rather than a forest spirit, so he won't make you gather anything special. Instead, you can purchase a Joja membership, which will turn the community center into a Joja warehouse and allow you to purchase items from the Joja Mart for the same price as they sell at Pierre's, but with the bonus that Joja Mart is open quite a few more hours in the week than Pierre is. Then, the community development projects can be paid for one at a time to unlock big rewards like new locations. Instead of having to locate any items, it's just money. Essentially, whichever one you pick, the other building will eventually be removed and replaced. Both routes have their upsides and downsides, and it truly depends on your personal playstyle, whether you're more into running around and gathering specific items, or if you just want to be able to focus on making money. However, I wanted you to leave this video with some sort of answer as to which is better, so I asked some of my friends who play Stardew to tell me which one they usually pick and why, to help you get an idea of which is the most preferred route. So let's read some of those, and then we'll do a little chart that shows you some of the pros and cons of the community center versus the Joja Mart. Friend number 1 is Team Community Center all the way. She said to make sure I emphasize the fact that she thinks Morris is scum. She says she's Team Community Center until she dies, especially because she loves the movie theater and doesn't want to have to do the extra work or pay the extra money to get it that is required when you choose the Joja Mart route. Friend number 2 says that he usually picks the community center. He has completed Joja Mart once, but it was purely for the Steam achievement. He says that the community center is more fun because he just prefers doing a checklist of items versus make a bunch of money. And he brought up a really interesting point with this direct quote. It also feels the right way, especially since us, the player, left Joja to come to the valley. So joining Joja feels like the opposite of why we came here, which is true. In the Stardew Valley lore, the character you play left a job at the Joja Corporation in order to come and take over the grandfather's farm. He also mentioned another good point, which is that if you get bored of doing the community center over and over again, there's the option for remixed bundles when you create your farm, which will make it so the bundles contain slightly different items that you need to gather instead of the original items. Next person is also Team Community Center. They said that it feels more rewarding because you get to see all the villagers come together and have a new area to enjoy. They also threw in that they think Morris is a jerkwad. The next person only gave us one line, and you need to hear the direct quote. I just swore to myself that I would never betray the forest spirits because I don't have the heart to tell the little sentient apples no, and they are so real for that. Next friend is also Team Community Center. They said that gathering the items for the bundles is a lot more fun than just grinding for money. Plus, they specifically said that they think the Community Center route is more helpful for beginners because in order to get the items for the bundles, you have to learn all of the different skills already. Whereas Joja Mart, you just make money. They said they've never actually completed the Joja Mart route, but they are interested in trying it because of some of the benefits like being able to buy auto petter. And our last friend is also Team Community Center. They bring up a really good point that throughout Stardew, it seems like your farmer is the only person besides the wizard that comprehends just how much magic there is in the valley. By choosing the Community Center, you get to help the Janimos and keep the magic alive in the valley, rather than picking the Joja Mart route where you just follow standard human capitalism rules. They admit that they've never completed the Joja Mart route, but they have tried it and personally found it to be a little boring compared to the Community Center route. But they finish up by saying, I think whichever route you take in Stardew Valley is valid, but the sense of accomplishment you feel will definitely depend on whether you're the type of player who lets their moral compass weigh into how you play, or if you're simply down to see how much chaos you can wreak in this silly farm game. I am also personally Team Community Center because I definitely enjoy the aspect of finding items more than just making money. You'll hear me talk about this in a lot of my Stardew Valley videos, but I am not here to play Capitalism Simulator. Community Center is such a unique aspect of this game that is different from a lot of other farming games. The Community Center route is just more enjoyable for me personally. And with that, you will see that as far as this video goes, the Community Center is definitely the preferred route for the people. But I think a big part of it is just that we all hate Morris. That guy stinks. Now I'm going to put up a little chart of pros and cons for both the Community Center and Joja Mart. I'll just leave it on the screen very briefly and you can pause if you want to read them because there are quite a few spoilers in there, but it's sort of a good breakdown of everything I could think of, plus all of the things my friends mentioned put together, in case you want to read those. So overall, I would say if you're new to Stardew Valley, the Community Center is the route you want to take. It will give you a slightly more interesting storyline, help you learn all of the skills you need, and in general, most people just think it's a much more fun way to progress the storyline. But if you've played the Community Center a number of times and you're bored of it, or you're just trying to gather all the Steam achievements, give Joja Mart a try. Typically, the Stardew Valley community does view Joja as an evil corporation, which it arguably is, but the more you dig into it, the more you realize there are a pretty similar amount of pros and cons to both options. I think I will forever be a Community Center girly, but maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments if you think Joja Mart's actually the better choice.